Hi everyone, welcome back. In the last video, we went through the basics of Mask RCNN. In fact, I provided a quick overview of CNNs, RCNN, fast RCNN, faster RCNN, and finally Mask RCNN that is based on faster RCNN. And I promised to show you how to get your system ready for Mask RCNN, and that's exactly the goal for this video. I am going to show this on Windows 10 using TensorFlow 2.2 and of course on Python environment 3.7. So that is the plan. And let us start by looking at the repository, the most famous repository for Mask RCNN on GitHub. And that one is or has been tested on TensorFlow 1.0, 1.x. And there are a bunch of repositories on GitHub that converted that into TensorFlow 2. Whatever the version that you pick, and the goal is for us to identify one of those repositories, clone it, and make it run on our system. But there are a few other things that we need to get ready, like creating a new environment, and within that environment installing the required libraries and running the code to see if it actually runs. If it doesn't, what do we do? That is the plan. So let's go ahead and jump onto GitHub repo where the original TensorFlow based Mask RCNN code will be can be found. So let's jump into that right away. So the original repo can be found under matterport, Mask RCNN, and as you can see, there's a lot of good documentation down here, and I am going to scroll all the way down so I can show you the requirements. So it's Python 3.4, TensorFlow 1.3, keras 2, and so on. Now our goal is to find a 2-point-some version. So let's go ahead and search. I searched for Mask RCNN TF2. Again, many repos that you'll find, and the one I picked is by imgaug. And again, it looks very similar to the original Mask RCNN, but it's for 2.0 and yeah, so let's go ahead and use this, and remember this URL because we need to get clone from this repository later on. Let's start by opening our Anaconda prompt. You can use Windows command prompt if you want. I am using Anaconda prompt. I'm going to run it as administrator. So what am I going to do? So step number one is to create an environment, and for that my Conda environment Conda is good, so I'm going to create a new environment called Mask tutorial, and let's specify Python equals to 3.7.11. Why? Because that's what I have in my other repo where things are working fine. So there you go, proceed, yes. And it should take just a few seconds, and any time now it should be ready. There you go. And now let's jump into our Python and let's check if we have some of the repositories. Import numpy. Numpy is there. Import. Let's look at the version number right there. Version 123. Okay. And import. Let's do scipy, and let's just check what the version number is. Scipy dot underscore version. There you go. Oh, let me exit. We are in the base right there. We need to change the environment. Sorry, we created the environment, we haven't. So conda activate. What did we call our package? It's Mask RCNN tutorial. Is that it? Let's confirm what we called. Sorry, not package or environment. Yeah, Mask tutorial, not Mask RCNN. So let's go back to our command and then type Mask tutorial. So now we are in the right repository. Sorry about that. Let's go into our Python prompt. Import numpy. We should not see anything. This is why I was surprised a bit ago. So now let's go ahead and import pip just to see what version pip we have here. It should be 22 something. 9. For some reason it's installing older pip, so let me take care of that. Let me install the right version and come back. Okay, sorry about that. Let me pause. All I'm going to do is pip upgrade. Okay, now I updated my pip and it should have the latest version, so let's go ahead and test it out. So import pip, and I should see pip underscore version, So it should be 22.1. So that's okay. I have no clue why I started off with the older version. So let's go ahead and exit out. Okay, now what am I going to do? I'm trying to type and think at the same time. So now that we have this, the next step is to just go back to our downloads directory and download the repository that we actually have. So let me go back to Srinivas cd downloads and cd mask. No, we haven't downloaded the repo yet. So let's look at our downloads. There you go. I have nothing. It's empty. So copy the URL, come back to, if you have git bash like git for Windows, go ahead and use it. You need obviously some sort of a git, and let's go ahead and git clone. Let's paste this and add an extension of .zip. .git. There you go. It's downloading the repository. It created the folder right there, and it should populate it with some files pretty soon. And there you go. So now when I open it, you should see exactly the same structure that we have right here on the web page. So all we did is basically downloaded the repository. Now if you open the requirements.txt, you can see that all the libraries are noted right there. I don't like that numpy, scipy, upload. They don't have like a version number, because if you run it in future, it may not work. So let me give some version numbers right there. Again, I'm giving these version numbers based on the one other environment that I already have, where I know this will work. So let's give that. Matplotlib, it doesn't matter. It's only used for plotting, so I can leave it. OpenCV requires even .60. So let's go ahead and do that. imgaug 0.4.4. So those are the versions I have. So let us go ahead and pip install. I hope you know how to do that. So basically it's going through my requirements.txt file, looking at all the requirements that I have and installing it. Okay, I paused the video for a second for it to install everything, and now it's done, and let us continue. Python, let's go into the prompt just to see if everything got installed. Tensorflow Stf, and yeah, that's a good sign. And now let's type tf dot underscore version. So just to see what version Python we have, 2.2. Great. Now everything looks good. Okay, let's exit out of this prompt and let's move on to the next step, which is installing Mask RCNN library. How do we do that? Python setup.py install, and that will install it. So basically I'm running the setup.py library, file within this environment. So it says it's installed. Yep, everything is good. Now what? Let us go ahead and go into Python and import our Mask RCNN. How do you do that? Import mrcnn, and yeah, it's imported fine. So we are all set. That's it. It's as easy as that. So now we need to fire up our IDE, whatever IDE you plan on using, and run the test file that comes with this. There's a Kangaroo dataset. So let's go ahead and run that. Okay, so first thing first, to run it, we need to download the H5, the Cocoa. I mean, it's downloading right there, the weights, the Cocoa weights, because that is what we are going to use as a starting point. This is all transfer learning that we are doing. So once it's downloaded, I'm going to move that into the Kangaroo directory so we can go ahead and do the training for our Kangaroo detection, object detection algorithm right there. So let me move the Mask RCNN right there. So I think we have everything ready. So let me fire up the IDE. So I'm going to use Spider IDE, but I don't think I installed that in this environment. So let me open Anaconda Navigator. There are many ways you can do this. If you're not using Anaconda and Spider, that's okay. Do whatever you normally do. So let me change the environment. This is the easiest way for most people. So that's why I'm following this. So Mask RCNN, Mask tutorial, there you go. The Spider is not installed and it's asking me to install. Let me click that. It should take a few seconds, sometimes minutes, depending on your environment. So let me launch it. Okay, it's there. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I'm losing my patience here. Okay, there you go. So now we have our Spider IDE. Let me clean up and open. Where is my kangaroo? There you go. Let me bring it here. Mask RCNN, kangaroo transfer learning, and let's open both the training and prediction. So I believe we need to train because we don't have the kangaroo weights here. And if you look inside this directory, you can see all the images as part of the repo, only a handful of them, and corresponding annotations. If you're curious, go ahead and open annotations. It's XML annotations in this case, and I'm opening that in Notepad++. You can see how it shows the bounding box, the dimensions, and what category it belongs to, class it belongs to, and all that. Okay, now let me minimize this, go back to our code and zoom in so you can see things a bit better. And let's do one more thing. Let's actually import Tensorflow Stf. I just want to make sure everything is fine in my IDE. So let's do the version number, tf.version. It should be 2.2. There you go. We're good. I am happy. Now let's go to our kangaroo prediction, and you see it requires kangaroo mask RCNN trained.h5. We don't have that. We haven't trained our model yet. So we are, as you can see, obviously all we have are the cocoa weights. So let's go to training and do the training part. And let's do a quick training to generate that h5 file to make sure everything is working fine. So what do I need right now? I'm trying to find where the epochs is. So we have GPU there. That's and if I scroll down, yeah, I think it's for one epoch. Let's go ahead and start it just to see if it throws any errors or if it actually works fine. That's a good sign. It's actually opening my CUDA drivers and all that. And yeah, everything looks very good. Keeping my fingers crossed. Okay, something's happened. So syntax is incorrect. Yeah, this is on a Windows system. It doesn't recognize these two backslashes, right? So you only put one backslash. So somewhere in one of the libraries, it is using two backslashes. So where is it? Yeah, if you look at this .egg file on line 2347, it's throwing this error. It says, hey, there is something going on right there. So we need to find that and edit it. This is, if you have other errors, go ahead and look at this and fix the errors. So first thing first, let's go ahead and find it. Let me move it to the side so we can navigate to the same place. Users, Srinivas, Anaconda 3, environments, where the heck is environments? Yeah, there you go. And which one? Mask, tutorial is our environment, and lib is where we need to go. lib, yep, and site packages, if I can find it, site packages, there you go, site packages, and we need to find mask RCNN tf2 something something, right, tf2.10 and so on. But that is not here as part of one of the folders. That is because it's a .egg extension. Think of it as a zip file. It's a compressed file. And it is located right somewhere here. There you go. So that is the file. Inside that container, inside that directory, we have a file that we need to edit. That's it. So let's copy it and let's change let's call this backup. And let's play with this .egg. The easiest way is just change the extension to zip, and we are actively using it, so it's not going to allow us to do anything, I guess. So let's cancel. Let's copy this and work in our downloads folder because we have more control over there, and we'll move that file later back here. So let me go ahead and paste that .egg. Now I can change the extension to .zip. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And inside here, you see there are two folders. This is a zip file. And let's extract the contents of that zip file into a temp directory. Extract here, and there you go. So mrcnn is the one that has this file that we need, and within that file, which is model.py, we have to look for line number 2347. Okay, so one step at a time. Model.py, and now look for 2347. Let's scroll this down. 2347. That's a pretty large file. Okay, 2347. Okay, there you go. I don't see anything obvious, right? That's because it's looking for log directory right there. And the log directory, where are we referencing it? So let's go back up and see where it is first referenced. Right there, right in 2279. You see the 2 backslashes? I'm going to delete one of those. So let's go ahead and, oh gosh, what's happening? Okay, let's go ahead and delete that, save the file. That's all we needed to do. So all the zip changing and all that, just to make sure we have access to this file. And now let's go ahead and compress it back into a zip, zip folder. So let's copy the file name. Shall we do this from here or from the other location? That's okay. First of all, let's go ahead into our temp, right click and add to archive. I'm using WinRAR. You can use anything that allows you to work with zip files. So let me paste it, temp. Oh gosh, let's go back to our site packages and copy the file name. So we make sure we are giving it exactly the same name. I can't speak and do things at the same time. Okay, there you go. And now let's go ahead and paste it here. And okay, so it's going to compress everything into a zip. Now we need to change the extension of the zip to .egg. Okay. Okay, so this file, let us change the extension of this one. Let's click, and where do we need to move it? We need to move that to site packages. So let's change the extension to EGG. I apologize if you think I'm slow. I'm trying to talk and trying to make sure everything is, I'm not messing anything up. Okay, there you go, .egg, right? So we replaced the previous one with the new one, and all we did was just change, let me launch it while I'm talking, just change this 2 backslashes to 1 backslash, that's it. And let's hope now it is ready to be used in Windows system. Maybe you don't even think that's an issue in Linux, but let me zoom in. I'm gonna run this exact file one more time. Okay, let me zoom in right there, run it. Okay, I'm not gonna celebrate yet. I'll celebrate when the training starts. We were here before. Right after this, we got an error. I'll give this a few more seconds. Oh, that's a good sign. Epoch 1 out of 1, so it is actually doing something. Let me open the task manager right now. Let's see. Hopefully my GPU should be fired up. There you go. That's a good sign. So it's using my GPU, it's using TensorFlow, and it's actually running this. So let me pause this video until this epoch is done, and I'll continue right after that. And I think we are running this for 1 epoch. Let's confirm that. That's the default, if I am not wrong. I can't see anything. Yeah, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, model.train, you can see it's epoch 1. Yeah. So right there, exactly right there. So I'll pause the video and I'll continue as soon as the training is done. Okay, the training is done now, and what am I trying to do? Go ahead and find our Mask RCNN folder right there. Now you see the .h5 file with the kangaroo. So that is the trained model that we just created right now, which means now we can go back to our prediction and just do the prediction. Obviously, the result is not going to be amazing. It's just 1 epoch using a handful of data. That's it. So sample2.jpg, there is nothing like that here. Am I doing anything wrong? Yeah, there's nothing like that there. So let's go ahead and run it. We should get some error, opencv error. Obviously, there is no image right here. Yeah, there you go. Let's just create an image. Let's actually put an image right there. I'm going to copy something from our images and rename it. So let us just pick this one. Okay, go back. Let's paste it here and change this to Kanga. Okay, and let's do that here. Kanga.jpg. Now I hope this should run. So we're just using our train model. Yep, there you go. Obviously the semantic segmentation part is not great, but the bounding box is doing an amazing job. And the semantic segmentation part, or the instant segmentation part right there, where it paints the pixels, will get better if we train it for, I don't know, 20 epochs, 100 epochs. So the more, as you know, the more accurate it is. So let's go back to one. I think we should test this on one other image. So let's go back and find, let's see, find another image where we have multiple things, maybe a person and kangaroo, or oh, I see this one that has car and a kangaroo. So that's not a bad one. Let's see if it picks the kangaroo bounding box correctly. Bounding box is easy. The semantic segmentation part is the difficult part. I'm gonna call this roo. Do I change it? Yeah, right there. ROO. Let's run the whole thing. Wow, isn't that great? It picked up the kangaroo part fine, and yeah, it's working fine. So your system is ready right now. My system is ready right now for the next tutorial. In the next tutorial, let's go ahead and focus on using a normal data set that we download from maybe Kaggle, and use the environment that we just created. It should be a pretty quick video. So I'll see you in the next video, guys.